Officials, experts and the business community gathered in what is dubbed as the first Cairo Food Summit as Egypt tries to fight off a continuous global food security issue. The summit aims to increase food availability and production and support private sectors in the food supply chain. Now, Egypt is experiencing a climate-fueled food crisis as it hosts this year's UN Climate Summit. Now, details in this report.
Government officials, experts and the business community gathered in what is dubbed the first Cairo Food Summit as Egypt tries to fight off a continuous global food security issue.
The aim of the summit is very simple. How can we increase availability? How can we increase production? How can we support private sector to take a bigger role in the food supply chain from land reclamation to improving horizontally and vertically the production to reduction of waste in the whole supply chain, sorting and packaging, as well as upgrading our agro-food industries.
The private sector is seen as a major player in these efforts.
The private sector represents a big segment of the economy and has a pivotal role to work with the government for self-sufficiency in food products. We launched an initiative to support the country by freezing prices of our products like pasta at lower than 35% of market price, especially as we head to the month of Ramadan.
Egypt imports over 70% of its needs. Therefore, the impact of global inflation, recent floating of the Egyptian pound, and the supply chain disruptions has hit the predominantly poor population of the North African country. Officials here outlined the government's strategy to deal with the crisis.
We have been working over the past few years to ensure that we have sufficient security. President Sisi has instructed the whole country to increase storage capacity. Our strategy has been minimum 3 to 6 months of strategic reserve of all strategic goods, and in the same time from 2 to 3 months reserve of raw materials for both food industries and pharmaceutical industries.
The solution at the conference are mainly medium to long term. Meantime, the government has moved promptly to support the low-income earners by establishing tens of outlets countrywide to sell food commodities at discounted prices.
The prices here are very good, and the timing too, because traders increase prices before Ramadan. The government is providing chicken and rice, for example, at good quality and low prices.
In spite of the efforts by the government, there is concern that a prolonged conflict in Eastern Europe will continue to put more pressure on the food supply sector in the North African country.